Hi, my name is Heather. Welcome to Strings and Threads. Once a month, at the end of the month, I always do a segment called Monthly Makes, and it just shows you everything that I did this month. I think this month was more productive than last month, so I'm excited to show you everything that I've done. There might be some videos spliced in because I had some giveaways, especially for my members. So some of the stuff has already been shipped out by the end of the month when I'm doing the video. So I took a video of some of the things before I ship them out. So if I'm wearing different clothes, if my hair's done differently, that's why. So to start with, I jumped in just sort of with a collab that was going on with Shannon from the Somebunny Stitcher. She did something this month called Diva Decades. And they had different decades each week, and you were to make something from that decade. I was just participating along with them, so I did two of the weeks. I did the 1920s and the 1980s. I did not participate in the other two decades. Those were the two that I felt most inspired by. So for the 1920s, and I have a video tutorial on how to make this, I did a 1920s inspired hat. This is what I came up with. There is a video tutorial if you wanted to see where I got the inspiration from. Check out the video from, I think it was sometime the first week of October. They did the 1920s first. And then I also came up with a 1980s. This was done, I just did that this week, and I think I put a tutorial up for it as well. A 1980s hair tie. We all know what these are called, but I don't want to break any trademark, copyright. I looked it up, and some of the names are trademark. So I'm just doing a hair tie that is inspired by the things that people used to wear in the 1980s. And I've seen more and more people wearing them again or having them on their arm. I have seen a lot of that lately. So sometimes things do come back. If you watch my channel regularly, you know about a collab that's going on, a monthly collab that I'm doing with Teresa from Critters Crochet. And we have also been having guests join us each month. It's really exciting. I love this collab. I hope that you will join in. I hope that you will participate. I'll talk about ways to participate. You don't have to be a content creator to participate. But what we're doing is we're using a stitch book. And the stitch book we're using is this one here, Step-by-Step Guide to 200 Crochet Stitches by Tracy Todd Hunter. We're picking a stitch each month, and then we spread out what we're going to do throughout the whole month. We had 5 Wednesdays this month. It's always on a Wednesday. So we had an extra week, and I'll let you know what we do on an extra week. But this month, we did the pin tuck ridges. We're on number 8, and we're going in order. So the first Wednesday of the month, we did a video tutorial on how to do the stitch so everybody can make the stitch. Then the people who are part of that collab, we make up our own unique design that uses that stitch. It's not a pattern that already exists. We're creating our own patterns with that stitch. So the second Wednesday, we give you a sneak peek of what we're making using that stitch. And it's fun because you guys can guess then. See if you can guess what we're making. The third Wednesday, we reveal what we've made. And whoever's participating this month, Crystal from Hook That Yarn, is joining us. And that's really exciting. I love what she made too. So we show what we've made. We put up a voting poll on each of our channels, and you guys vote for the one that you like the best. And if we had the extra week, we do an extra week of voting. So we had the extra Wednesday, so the fourth Wednesday of this month, we did an extra week of voting. But then the last Wednesday of the month, we do a live and we reveal which project got the most votes. And then we do a giveaway for the project that has the most votes. It's a lot of fun. So how you can participate, if you're a content creator, you can ask us to join in. And any month that you want to, you can. You can be one of our guests and we can all compete together. If you're not a content creator, I encourage you to learn that stitch and see if you can make up your own project with that stitch. We'd be happy to show what you've created in our videos. So if you don't want to make a video, it's perfectly fine. Make something using that stitch and share a picture of what you've made with us so that we can share it. We love to see all the creative things that can be made with the stitches. My project this month was a hat. And so here's how the hat looks with the pin tuck ridges. I happen to just really love hats that have texture to them. And this has so much texture to it. I just really, really love it. I have been doing a special segment with my members, and I've been taking yarn that I haven't known what to make with, and I just keep coming in my room and looking at it, and so I'm asking them, what should I make with it? And then I make something and I do a giveaway. This month I had Dragon Horde yarn that was gifted to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful silky feeling yarn, and so my members had suggested that I make a shawlette with it. And this was the pattern that was voted on, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This has been given away. The winner was Donna Jenkins, so I'm going to ship this out to her very soon. But here's how the shawlette looks. It's really pretty. I think you can wear it either to dress something up or even just casually wear it if you wanted to have a little extra warmth or a little bit of extra pizzazz to what you're wearing. So hopefully Donna will enjoy this. This is another cut in of something that I'm doing a giveaway on, so I thought that I would show it or make a quick snippet of it right now to include in my monthly makes, because it'll probably be already shipped out by the time I do my monthly makes. But on my members side of my channel, my members have been helping me out with figuring out projects to do with yarn that I show them. And it can be tricky because I got a really nice skein of dragon yarn and Dragon Horde yarn, and I wanted to make a project, but it was just one skein, and so it had to be something that would fall within the parameters of how many yards it was. So what I did was I made something with that, but I did have someone suggest slipper socks, knitting them, which is what I thought would be so fun. I don't get the opportunity to knit too much. I don't feel like I'm as good at it as crocheting, so I just tend to stick to crocheting more. But it was a really fun challenge to do, and I did it with thicker yarn because it was meant to be with just either thick yarn or 2 strands held together. So I don't think the Dragon Horde yarn was a DK weight yarn, so I don't know that it would have made good slipper socks anyway. But this pattern is amazing. I'm going to do a giveaway for my members only with this, but I did make it this month, so I wanted to include it in my monthly makes. And I think I like this so much, I'm probably going to make a pair for myself as well. And here's how they turned out. They are knitted, and they're meant to fit size 8 to 10. So hopefully I'll have a member at least one member that will fit that and that would be interested in having them. But I just think the design is so cute, and it was very easy to make. It was knitted up as one piece, and one like long piece, and then you folded it a certain way. So it's sewn here on the bottom, and then the top part gets sewn together, but I don't know if I can describe it. You would just do all these rows, and then you decrease just so that you have this part, and then you add more stitches and do this part and then sew it on the bottom, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if it's not making sense. You could probably do something similar with crochet, you know, making it in the same way and then sewing it up in the same way, and just figure out what stitches would work for that. So hopefully whoever won the giveaway for this is enjoying them. I'm planning on doing more with my members over time here. And so this month is where I started, where I make something and we have a giveaway. I also have always done this, but whenever I create a pattern, I always give my members a free copy of the PDF that I come up with for that pattern. And membership is $2.99 a month. Most of my patterns on Etsy sell for $4. So you're already making out there if you're interested in my patterns. But if you're interested in the added fun of joining the community and helping us decide what to make and having some giveaways and just having a good time together, I encourage you to check that out. This month for Amigurumi Monday, I took the suggestion of Ms. C's Cottage. She suggested a bunny, but she suggested a back to school bunny. But since I missed back to school, I decided to do a bunny in a witch's costume for Halloween. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I have a PDF version of this pattern for sale in my Etsy store. My Etsy store is listed in my description below. And the dress is removable, so if you wanted to make just a bunny, you could do that. The dress pattern is included in the PDF, and I'm hoping over time that maybe I could make some more outfits for it. Maybe we'll get a Christmas outfit in, maybe we'll get something else special added in, but that'll be something over time. I'm not doing this all at once. There is a hat. You can either sew it on or pin it on when she's wearing the costume. I didn't do either. I just kind of had it on top. But here's how the bunny turned out. I made it, of course, with the Amigurumi Select Yarn by BambooMN. So if you were interested, I am an affiliate of theirs. Their Amigurumi Select Yarn is gorgeous for making amigurumi. It's nice and soft and plushy, and it's just the right size to make beautiful amigurumi. So this amigurumi is made with the Amigurumi Select Yarn. This is a cut-in because I did a giveaway for this item, so I no longer have it, but I wanted to do a video of it for my monthly makes before I did a giveaway. So this is earlier in the month. I love this, it's so cute. I hope that whoever won the giveaway really enjoys this little bunny. But I did a pattern, Ms. C's Cottage, who I will have listed in the description below. She suggested my bunny going back to school, but then I decided to make it into a Halloween bunny, and she said that was okay. But she was kind enough to send me a copy of her bunny pattern for a segment that she does called Every Bunny or Somebunny, Everybody is Somebunny, something to that effect. I'm sorry that I don't have it down quite perfect, but she has a segment that she does about that, and people make bunnies, and I think they give them away and stuff like that. But this was her pattern that she designed, and it turned out so cute. I love this. I'll probably make more of them in the future. Her pattern did not include the dress, but I just thought that the dress would be so cute on this little bunny, and I used some fuzzy yarn to create a nose for it too. So this is another thing that I did this month. I hope whoever the winner was really enjoys this bunny. I've been having her sit on my desk until we know where her home is, and I've been enjoying, just looking at her. And if I miss her, I'll just make another one. This month's Things We're Making Thursday, which is a collab for anybody. If you're not familiar with it, I encourage you to check it out. All you have to do is start making things that have to do with our theme, and then use the hashtag TWMT to, be a part of it. You don't have to ask anybody's permission. There's nobody judging what you're doing. This is just something that anybody can do, and it's meant to be for fun, and it's meant to expand our creativity. There's also a Things We're Making Thursday Facebook page, which I have listed in my description, and you can go and check that out too if you want to go and share makes there. So this month the theme was Halloween. I decided to take the patterns by Teresa from Critters Crochet. She came up with a really pretty pattern for a pumpkin, And here's how it turned out. I love it. I love this pattern. It's so pretty. It's so nice. I've had it sitting on my shelf. I don't know if you've noticed in my videos, but I've had it sitting on my shelf. And just for decoration, I'll probably keep it up for another month. And then I wanted to make a little scarecrow amigurumi, but I couldn't find a pattern that spoke to me as something that I would want to make. So I made up my own pattern. I didn't write down how to make it, and I didn't make a tutorial. I'm sorry about that. But I made it in such a weird way. I didn't want to have to try to figure out how to explain it and just to have people say, oh, that's a bad video, or that's a bad pattern, you know, which I have had when I've had things that were a little bit difficult to describe. I've described to the best of my ability, put in pictures, and then I just get, that's a terrible pattern. Okay, well, sorry. So there's no pattern for this. I didn't want the criticism. I couldn't handle it. Here's how it turned out. And I'm really happy with it. I love the plaid shirt. I love the overalls. And I just thought it was a really cute scarecrow. And then I also made a pumpkin designed by Thomas from Totally Fierce Crochet. I loved this pumpkin as well, and so I had to make one of his pumpkins as well. So this is a totally different stitch, but I love that it's chunky. He did it holding strands together. I just used a really chunky yarn to make it, so I didn't do it double-stranded. But I do like his stem is Tunisian crocheted. His tutorial is really good, so if you wanted to make this but you don't feel like you're a Tunisian crocheter, you could do it. You don't need a special hook because it's only a few stitches, so you don't need to have a long hook for it. You can just use your regular crochet hook to do the stem, and he takes you through how to do it step by step. I'm not really a Tunisian crocheter. I have tried it before, so I have a little tiny bit of experience with it, but I would really need somebody to help me get started and help me get going with it. But just watching his video, I was able to do it no problem. So another cute little pumpkin for Things We're Making Thursday. Thomas from Totally Fierce Crochet, I'll have him linked down below too. He led me down a rabbit hole this month. He came up with a fantastic design for 12 skull granny square. And I thought, I saw his video for it. I watched his tutorial. I'm like, this is great. I'll print out the PDF that he has in his description. So I have a link to the video where he does the tutorial for it, but in his description of that tutorial, he has a PDF copy of the pattern there for you as well. So I printed out the PDF pattern for it, and I brought it up to my crochet room and set it down on my table. And I'm like, you know what, next year I'll play around with this and have some fun, and you know, I can tag Thomas in this next year. But the more that I came up here and worked, the more I stared at it and I stared at it and I stared at it. And until I was like, I really don't have a choice. I have to make something now. And the way that he writes the PDF, it is just a quarter of it. So it's in a triangle shape. And when I saw that, you know, originally I thought I would make the whole granny square. But when I saw the triangle, I thought this would be such a fun bandana, hair bandana, if you just kept the triangle, if you just made it in the quarter. So I started making it, but I made it with one color and I couldn't really see the skulls very well. So I emailed Thomas and he was just telling me that you can block it and that's what will help the pattern show up better. But then he's like, wait a minute, you are only doing a quarter of it. Are you doing that on purpose? And I told him I was like, yeah, I wanted to make a hair bandana. And he's like, oh, that is so cool. So then he took my idea of the hair bandana and he made the video tutorial for how to do it. So I will list the tutorial for the hair bandana as well in my description. So here's what I came up with for it. I did end up using 2 different colors because I wanted the skulls to pop when I made it. So here's how it looks with the two different colors. So the bandana is the purple and then the skulls are pink. And then I don't want to waste time totally putting it on, so I'll just kind of hold it and I'll see if I can get you to see how it would look. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. This is going to be my Halloween wear. And then I like the skull pattern so much that I took it and I made a hat with the skull on it. So here's how that turned out. And then I started getting really inspired, but I had to put it down because I had other things that I was working on. So maybe next year, Thomas and I will come up with more designs with the skull. He came up with another design too, where he took this skull, but he put it around an LED candle. And that looks so cool. It almost looks like he used really, really thin black yarn, maybe even crochet thread yarn. And he put it around a candle and it looks really cool. But my thought after I made this was, I was like, what if I could make a headband with a skull on it, or even a headband with maybe multiple skull patterns, but I didn't have time to play around with that. So maybe next year that will be something that I'll play around with and try to create more things with. On Fridays, I've been doing a segment where I show video tutorials that I did way long time ago, like more than 2 years ago, back when I didn't have any subscribers. I started my channel just by doing video tutorials, but after a few months of 0 subscribers and 0 views on my videos, I decided to come on and start talking, and then the rest is history. But some of these tutorials haven't had a lot of love, so I thought I would reintroduce them now that, you know, there are more people watching my channel. And so one of them for this month was a dragon pumpkin. And you guys know I just love dragons. I love, love, love fantasy. I love dragons. So this is what I came up with for the pumpkin dragon. And then I did another tutorial. I'll list all these tutorials in my description. I did another tutorial for a hanging ornament pumpkin, and this was just meant to be something that was really easy and beginner friendly. So this is a really easy tutorial that takes you step by step how to do this hanging pumpkin. And then I showcased some of the sensory toys that I have shown, and what got me on this kick is that my oldest son is autistic, and he had, when he was younger, a lot of sensory issues, a lot of things that he needed weighted blankets and things that just kind of helped him get through that. Thankfully now he has kind of gotten to a point where he's learned other strategies in his life and he doesn't need all of these toys to help him get through. But one of the things that I came up with was this sensory weighted doll. It is stuffed with dried beans, and so it gives it a lot of weight, but it also gives it a nice texture if you just wanted to play around with it. And I made sure to use a lot of materials that had different textures. So this is really, really soft. This is one of the Karen latte cakes. So it's really fuzzy and soft. The braids are a little bit less soft. But all kinds of things. There's marbles in the leg, so you can make the marbles go up and down the leg. Then I put 2 marbles in each leg, so that can be moved around. And then the arms have marbles as well, so you can play with the marbles in the arms, 2 marbles in each arm. So this was a really fun sensory toy. And then the last one that I showed was also a sensory toy, and it had some weight to it. I do want to be careful. When I came up with this, I didn't think to mention this, but my husband saw this and he said, oh, you should put a disclaimer on this that if you put this around your neck for too long, it could cause you to suffocate. So please don't wrap this tight. If you're using this with a child, make sure they're not wrapping it too tight. But this just wraps around, and there's different compartments. So each section has a different textured stitch to it. Each section has these little I don't know, these little lacy or silky bows on them, and they have different texture to them. The lacy ones are a little bit harder and, you know, a coarser texture, and then there's the silky ones. There are marbles inside of here, there's rice, there's weight to it, so when it's wrapped around you like this, kind of like a scarf, it puts pressure on your shoulders and it helps to ease anxiety. So there's a lot going on with this, and it's something easy that you can take along with you if you're going somewhere. It's not super loud. There is a sound where the marbles are, but it's not as loud as some of those other fidgets that I've seen around. But I will link the tutorial. If you're interested in this, I'll link the tutorial for this in my description as well. Then lastly, I have a work in progress, and it's a wearable. I like to have a wearable that I'm working on, and I usually take it to work with me, and I will work on it while I'm on my lunch break at work. But I'll put a picture of it here. There is a pattern for it, and I am using the Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed. And I'm having a love-hate relationship with this yarn because it is absolutely beautiful to work with. It is soft. It is really pretty, and it works up nicely. No problem when I'm using it with any kind of splitting of the yarn or anything like that. It's so smooth that it just works up really fast. I'm just trying to see if I can find what it's superwash, 100% superwash merino wool. It's really pretty. The thing that I don't like about it, this is how it came, and so I really didn't have an idea of how the variegation would look. I kind of thought there would be bigger stripes of blue and then bigger stripes of white. But then when I caked it up, this is how it looks. And I'm not sure that I'm 100% loving how the pattern looks on the, not the pattern of the stitches, but the pattern of the colors looks. I mean, I guess it's okay. This is worked up in 2 panels, and then you sew the panels together. I haven't had a ton of time to dedicate to this, so I'm only partway through 1 panel, but I'm getting ready on the top here to start adding the sleeves to this panel. So that's where I am with this. Maybe the design will be better than I thought. When I'm holding it up here in front of the camera, it's okay. But when I just look at it close up, it just looks like a bunch of blue and white blotches. You know, I don't know. It's hard to tell when you're buying something that looks like this exactly. To me, it's hard to tell. I'm not like a yarn dyer or anything like that. So maybe somebody who dyes yarn says, yeah, what else did you expect? I don't know. I just saw a lot of blue on this side and a lot of white on this side, so I thought it would be spread out. But I'm just not experienced anyway, so, you know, I wasn't expecting it to just be little things of blue, little thing of white, little thing of blue, little thing of white. But anyway, I'm so happy that you joined me for this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you'll join in with this channel, you'll subscribe and become part of all the fun things that we do here. Have a great day. Bye.